Okay, so this is my 6 Secrets of Change, part 2, I guess, and review of the guiding questions. So the first 3 secrets we've already done: love your employees, connecting peers with purpose, and capacity building prevails. These were great secrets, and I really felt a personal connection as an instructional coach to secrets 1 and 2. Just because they really hit home with what I feel like my purpose is as a coach and what I'm really able to do as a coach and not an administrator. So to get into more detail about the latest secrets that we read, Secret 4, learning is the work. That is definitely true. Basically, the chapter talked about consistent performance and learning what's necessary for improvement. He gave the example of Toyota. He loves Toyota in this book, and says how great of a company it is, and they're always looking for improvement and areas to improve, and learning and teaching their employees while still being consistent in their existing performance, which is sometimes a challenge, I think, for organizations, because it's hard to be a consistently great performer if you're still learning what's necessary for improvement. Sometimes it's kind of hard to do the 2 things at once, and I think that's where school systems have issues sometimes, of where they're focusing their efforts. They seem to only be able to focus their efforts in one area or the other. Secret 5 was about transparency. I love this secret because we'll get into it a little later, but I feel like sometimes I'm a little too transparent, and I felt like this was validating because it said being transparent is vital, but not too transparent, obviously, because you don't want to information overload the folks in your organization, which I think happens sometimes. There's kind of a happy middle ground, and you kind of have to figure out who your audience is before you judge how transparent you can be. The quote I really like from this chapter: without a tangible means for assessing success or failure, motivation eventually deteriorates as people see themselves as unable to control their own fate. So folks must have a way to assess their success and failure, and if we're not transparent about performance and performance goals and meeting those goals, then they don't necessarily have a way to assess that and are less motivated. Secret 6 with systems learn. Basically, this is the all-encompassing, culminating secret, because Fullen talks about applying the first 5 secrets in harmony all together, and continuously learn from the implementation, and that's how systems learn. The example was given from Toyota, and how they focus on many leaders. They're very leader-oriented, and that way, when leaders leave, the company doesn't just fall apart, which we see in a lot of organizations. The CEOs or founders of the organization leave or die, or whatever the case may be, and then the organization starts to fall apart. So Toyota has been smart about that, and that's how systems learn. I also love how this chapter talks about we can all do better. I love that. I think we fall into these little traps of, my students did really well, so I'm doing great. I don't necessarily need to improve. And I've always kind of preached, like, unless every student is making a 100, then they're not being challenged enough. But we can always improve. There's always area for improvement in something, and so I felt like this secret was validating that. Quote I really love from this secret: no matter how smart you are, no matter how much you crunch the data, you can never be certain of a positive outcome. You can maximize your probability of success, but you can never be sure because of endemic complexity, which I love. It kind of validates the we all can do better concept. Keeping the Secrets, it was kind of a post chapter, if you will, discusses practicing all the secrets in order to improve and develop, and know that this is a process that really has no end. There's always change that needs done, and continually revisiting the secrets and assessing yourself as an organization is the best way to keep the secrets. Quote I love from this area in the book is, if you practice the secrets, you model them for others. I love that because you're sort of being an example to others. If you use them, you're at the same time developing other leaders who will learn to know them, and implementing the 6 secrets and developing other leaders become one and the same. So it takes a lot of the work out. If you're willing to implement the 6 secrets, you're naturally developing leaders to follow those secrets, which I think is just kind of genius. As for the guiding questions, the first question is, would you recommend this book to others? Why or why not? To whom? Absolutely. This book is a great read. It's easy. Like you said, you can drink a cup of coffee and go through the book. I personally think I could read it probably 15 more times and still gain stuff out of it, which I love. And so I probably will read it a few more times. I think leaders in education, particularly principals and superintendents, folks that really have the power to make change, I think would really benefit from this book. And I think it really speaks to those groups of leaders. Major takeaways. I felt a lot of validation about the things that I quote-unquote preach through coaching, such as the transparency and such as the we can all do better. That was really great. And proper leadership is a continually changing talent. I really liked that because sometimes we feel like it's frustrating that education is always changing. But this book sort of validates that it should be changing, and that's normal, and we need to realize that and start continually changing our leadership and our methodology for success in order to continue to be successful. Do you see the 6 secrets at play in your organization? Absolutely. Personally, secrets 1 and 2 are kind of right up my alley as a coach. Secret 1 is love your employees. Secret 2 is connect peers with purpose. I feel like those are 2 secrets that I can control as an instructional coach and things that I can do and implement daily. I feel like the other secrets have to have someone with some power. I definitely can implement pieces of the other secrets, but I feel like the other secrets are more need to be done by an administrator or someone who makes decisions and can change the way things are done within a school building or a school system, more so than within a classroom, which is kind of where I'm at. Can you use them to manipulate your organization? Absolutely. I think that as like the Keeping the Secrets chapter discusses as an example for others, if I am trying to do the 6 secrets as much as possible in my position, I think that will help others see how awesome the secrets are. And secrets 3 through 5 for administration, as I've mentioned before, I think this would be a great book for principals to read and maybe discuss with their colleagues. And I think it could definitely turn things around in some schools. And here's my reference, Fullen. He's awesome. And that's it. Thanks. Have a great night.